Hello, hello. I know this is a big week for many people, and so I thought that I would read an article that I wrote for Rolling Out in 2018. And it's very interesting to think about these lessons in the midst of this never ending pandemic. So I hope it speaks to you. So, sensationalism and consumerism aside, the fourth Thursday in November typically kicks off the season of gratitude and giving. Whether you're a spiritual person, a person of color, or a plain old optimist, you are no stranger to looking for the rainbow after the storm or finding meaning in the midst of a mess. As Americans, we live in a perpetual world of paradox. Consequently, we often straddle between honoring tradition and personalizing practices. Turkey gobbling and pigskin throwing aside, our festive gatherings represent downtime to be with our loved ones. Whether you consider Thanksgiving a feast with family or a harvest of hypocrisy, here are some suggestions for handling the holiday hoopla. And yes, we still have some hoopla going on in the midst of this pandemic. My fellow marriage and family therapists or students might enjoy some quotes from some marriage and family therapy or MFT pioneers. So, my first tip or reminder is take time to plan. Virginia Satir says life is not what it's supposed to be. It is what it is. It's the way you cope with it that makes a difference. Because the holiday frenzy is inevitable, time management strategies are essential. For house hopping families, will you start out with the grandparents, co workers, or in laws? And I'm inserting this now, or will you continue to stay home during the pandemic? Will you eat outside? Would you rather end the night at your cousins or your best friends? And many people are doing Friendsgiving, which is a new popular thing. And yes, for some, where do you want to watch the game? Likewise, setting a budget can help reduce impulse shopping and frivolous spending. Another insertion, a lot of people have increased in their online shopping during the pandemic, so definitely something to be mindful of. Managing your finances is more important than keeping up with the Joneses and dealing with increased debt in the new year. Second point, understand your own needs while enjoying family time. Virginia Satir also says we must not allow other people's limited perceptions to define us. This time of year brings to light many things that people have swept under the rug. If you are grieving the loss of a loved one, the loss of a relationship, or even unmet goals, consider ways to protect your energy by setting healthy boundaries and taking personal time to monitor your mood. If you are a caregiver or coping with your own illness, give yourself more time to reflect and to rejuvenate. It is essential to set realistic expectations for yourself and with others. Maybe you'll visit for 1 hour instead of sitting around for 5 hours. Maybe you'll just do a virtual. Again, my add in as I'm reading this. You might want to end the evening on your couch, binge watching in your PJs. Perhaps you'll pick up that turkey or dessert from the store instead of slaving in the kitchen. Believe me, they'll be okay. The next tip, remember the reason for the season and keep your negative vibes in check. Murray Bowen says we all have an infant side, but that infant side doesn't have to run the show. And Michael White says the problem is the problem, the person is not the problem. Maintaining a spirit of gratitude may be the only thing to carry you through when the collards are too salty, the turkey is too dry, or that family member keeps giving you the side eye. Remind yourself to be grateful for others, even if they're petty sometimes, and get on your last nerve. Let's be honest, priceless gifts and sentimental value are often sacrificed for pride and indulgence in superfluous material things. Instead of overemphasizing Black Friday shopping, explore ways to share gifts that money cannot buy. How about acceptance, forgiveness, and compassion? If there's conflict, think beyond the person. Even the Bible references that we fight against principalities, not flesh and blood. And if you feel conflicted about gathering around the big table with people you'd rather not be around, um, then you're not the only ones participating in a big dinner after a devastating war. If nothing else, be grateful for a place to visit and food to eat if you choose to go there. Say a prayer, meditate, take pre and post holiday yoga class, try holistic remedies for extra doses of good vibes. My next point, keep it fun and worthwhile. Otherwise, what is the point? Carl Whitaker says, I encourage family members to be crazy, but the problem is to keep them from being stupid. And Milton Erickson says, life will bring you pain all by itself. Your responsibility is to create joy. Why slave in the kitchen if you're going to complain the whole time? Cooking isn't fun and the food doesn't taste too good if it's not made with love. Compromise if you and your partner don't agree on where to go, what to do, how much to spend, or what to bring. Be spontaneous and also be smart. Watch out for topics that you know will turn that side eye into a below the belt comment or a dramatic exit. Tell the jokes. Integrate a little harmless sarcasm. Laugh at your uncles arguing over who was the man back in the day, or your aunties battling over whose potato salad tastes the best. Reminisce over photos and fun memories. Have a family dance off during a commercial break. And again, my pandemic add in, have a virtual celebration or just call people if you'd rather chill at home. Last point, every year can be different. Traditions matter also. Every year can be different and traditions matter. One of the things we learn as MFTs is that it's both and, not either or. Evan Ember Black says rituals connect us to the past, present, and future. They have the capacity to define our relationships and to tell us who we are to each other. Insu Kim Berg and Steve DeShazer say, once you know what works, do more of it. If it's not working, do something different. Hey, maybe you want to totally break tradition, or maybe you want to go along with what is typical, especially after a year like this. Guess what? The world will not end if you switch the host house, order take-in, or even decide to go on a trip. Celebrating differently does not have to be reduced to disrespecting elders or forfeiting family loyalty. Finding a way to honor and reinvent holiday traditions, especially when the family structure has changed, personal needs have changed, and relationship dynamics change, can help create new meaning. Ask elders about your family history and research customs from ancestors. Think about ways to give back, not just during the holidays, but on a regular basis by volunteering, advocating for justice, or supporting philanthropic causes throughout the year. You can learn a lot about who you are by reflecting on your family. Carl Whitaker also says there are no individuals in this world, only fragments of families. And Harry Aponte says our biology, our family histories, our gender, our race, ethnicity, cultures, and spirituality, along with effects of the choices that we have made in life, all shape who we are today. Instead of getting caught up in the drama, observe the family dynamics with curiosity and develop a deeper meaning and understanding to yourself. Your personality, values, and behaviors are often informed by your family of origin, even if you've decided to do a 180. So take a step back during the holidays and explore ways to reduce stress. Personal therapy is also a wonderful resource, or family therapy if everybody's in agreement, for enhancing your insight and sense of self-awareness. Working through childhood traumas and exploring dysfunctional generational patterns can improve your sense of peace and can enhance your current relationships. Do you avoid conflict or do you dive in and attack? How might early experiences serve as a trigger in your current relationships? Do you feel free to be you in your family? How flexible is your family in terms of power, roles, and responsibilities? Does your communication style compare to your family of origin and other members? What are some sources of pride and strengths of your family, even in the midst of tough times? Which family traditions do you want to maintain, and what will be your family legacy for future generations? I hope you enjoyed me recapping this 2018 article from Rolling Out called Handling the Holidays